we must thank Mr. Pilot Kwebu, because he tells me as I arrive here that we got a new chair for you. Thank you so much, Mr. Kwebu, for being considerate. I do not think that we are going to have a full house, and we must just proceed. If there is anybody who comes, they will join the proceedings when they are underway. Welcome back, honorable members. Welcome back, Advocate Arendse, and our witness.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Mr. Chetty.
Chetty.
And let me acknowledge the presence of the following honorable members from the MKP: Honorable Mani, Honorable Litchfield Shabalala, and Honorable Malinga. Thank you so much for coming to join us and grace our proceedings. Every time, Honorable Mani knows very well that every time members come here, we acknowledge them, because the work that we do is not in our name, but it's in the name of the National Assembly and Parliament of the Republic, and in the name of the people of South Africa. So when you come here, you are public representatives, and the people who elected you to be here must know that you also take interest in these proceedings. Advocate Arendse, can I check if there are any remarks you want to make?
Honorable Chair, no. It was now for honorable members to pose their questions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Chetty, can I reaffirm that you are still under oath?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Thank you so much. Honorable Skosana.
Chair, I just want us to check the issue of a quorum.
We correct.
Out of 17, how many are we?
No, we have 11.
Yes, 11 members.
Full members.
Yes.
Yes, so you must check the number of full members who are here.
1, 2, 3.
We have a quorum.
So, okay, so we turn the alternates into full members.
No, we did not have Honorable Malema this morning. So in the absence,
yes,
in terms of our
yes,
rules,
yes,
in the absence of a full member, the alternate
becomes a full member.
Yeah, so we have a quorum.
So we try.
If he was here this morning, that could be a reason.
Yeah, I was just checking to make sure that we are not being challenged.
Yeah, I ascertained it before we.
Thank you, Chair.
Before we started. And thank you so much for bringing that matter to our attention. Can I start with you, Honorable Sols? You don't want to start? Okay. I wanted to start from that side to this side.
No, I prefer the rotation.
Okay. So from the ANC, it's only your Honorable Ngola who will be engaging with the witness.
Yes, Chair, it's only me, but can we please revise the time from 5 to 15 minutes?
Oh, okay. I don't,
for only one speaker.
I don't have a problem. Mr. Chetty, we are about to start. Is there anything you want to say to these members?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Yeah.
When we started this morning, we did not go from the beginning of my affidavit to the end. I understand maybe why the evidence leader went on certain elements of my affidavit, but we're like talking about certain cases like 12/7/2022. I did not start from the beginning to where it is now. I started halfway to where it is now. The 2 days I got a call from iPad. So certain things like that. I would appreciate that if we can,
What do you want to say?
that, like at the beginning of my affidavit, example, I talked about SCOPA.
Yeah, what I'm saying to you is
Yes.
that if there is anything you want to say, you can say it now.
Yes, I would appreciate us running through my affidavit from the beginning on key elements that is going to bring us to the conclusion of why I'm here. Because we did miss the beginning. Me complaining about,
What I'm saying is
Yes.
that if there is anything that you want to clarify,
yes,
because the evidence leaders have done their work with you,
Okay.
you can clarify anything that you want to clarify.
no, it's fine. Thank you.
You can start now.
Okay. What I want to clarify is I need to explain Silverton case 97 of 5/2022. The case was registered in May 2021, sorry, 97 of 5/2021. And it was then executed by a warrant officer, David Mashaba, who was working up to recently at the ex-minister of police's office as dealing with his queries. Queries meaning dealing with cases. So that specific warrant officer went to execute this 97 of 5/2021 and was stopped by these IDEC officials. His statement is in my affidavit. I got a hold of his affidavit. And Advocate Shabalala, Dylan Perumal, Paul Lowe promised he will surrender himself, who is Sunil Beluchan, on the Monday morning, which never happened. What rather happened was the colonel of Pretoria West Police Station called to the late General Mfazi's office with the docket. And that's where the original docket was taken by the late General Mfazi. And the docket was then never given back to Pretoria West Police Station. And that is when Nico Williams collected this warrant of arrest and gave it to the suspect to keep, who's Sunil Beluchan, which is attached in my annexures. The letter is attached where Nico Williams signed for it and gave it to Beluchan. Who is the suspect? He's a suspect in his own case now. Then, went back to Pretoria West Police Station. The docket is saved as undetected. But now, there's two dockets. One is a warrant of arrest, and the other one is undetected. And be going to the magistrate's court, inquiring on this case number. The case is still open. It has never been executed. So that is just what I wanted to explain regarding case Pretoria West case 97 of 5/2021. That I know it's still valid. And the only way this thing can be dealt with, me trying to complain to the NDPP, the DPP of the same cabal, where I'm always hitting a dead wall, a brick wall. You're not getting no attention. There's nothing there. So I would suggest that the National Commissioner looks into this, because Sunil Beluchan is busy arresting people and taking them to a same court where he needs to be, where he needs to appear. But that's fine. And on 12 of 7, can I go on to that, Chair? 12 of 7, 20.
That is the next matter.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, Chair. Silverton case, 12 of 7, 2022, was opened by myself on the merits of what I have here on the duplication of charges from case 335 that was struck off the roll by the magistrate in Pretoria Magistrates Court. And charges were taken out and 3 baby dockets were opened from the case struck of the roll. The proof of that is in my annexures. Now, when I opened the case, it was taken to organized crime, Gauteng. From there, the investigating officer then made means. I don't know how he met with the National Commissioner, General Masamula. He showed him the merits of this case. And the investigating officer then told me, the National Commissioner has never seen this before. Duplication, a copy and paste of charges. The investigating officer then came to me and said that they arranged another meeting with the head of organized crime, who was General Sabia. He then met up with General Sabia and General Masamula. After meeting with General Sabia and Masamula, the investigating officer came back to me and said, I met up with General Sabia and Masamula, and this is the way going forward. I'm moving now to organized crime, national. It only came to me to understand recently why the investigating officer then got moved to organized crime national. It was because, in my view, General Sabia had to manage the investigating officer on this specific docket 12 of 7. I went to General Sabia's office many times, asking on the status of the docket. I also asked the investigating officer, and he told me that the docket is in the safe. I then eventually, over the years, this started from like 2022 now, I went to inspectorate, and I saw General Jacobs, Colonel Phillips. I opened up a case with a co-accused of mine in 335 and of the Palm Ridge matter. We opened up a complaint at inspectorate, and Colonel Phillips entertained us. Eventually, he called for the docket from General Sabia's office. The docket went to him. We met him. He perused the docket. And then he said he's closing our complaint and sending it to the Hawks, to General Libya's office. So, Chair, you must just take into account that this docket now is taking the full circle. It's going everywhere. There's a lot of hands touching it. But me as a complainant, I didn't have access to my docket because I needed to add a supplementary. By then, the other cases, the other baby cases, the dockets were, the indictments were disclosed to us. The dockets were disclosed to us. So I needed to add a supplementary. I was never given that opportunity up to today. From the time it went to inspectorate, he then sent it to the Hawks and General Labia. I received the email from Lieutenant Colonel van Staden. Just to place it on record, this Colonel van Staden is the same colonel that is a suspect in Lorette Joubert case now. Lorette Joubert is a co-accused with me. And she opened up a case against torture against Sunil Beluchan, Dylan Perumal, and this Colonel van Staden. So Lorette Joubert's case, my case, 12 of 7, and Marcel Mani's case was sent to the Hawks. It's sent back to me now and stating that we're not dealing with your matter. We are sending it back to DPCI. At that time now, General Sabia is the Deputy National Commissioner. I went back to him, making a lot of noise. Now, this is not happening overnight. It's due time, to a process. After then seeing General Sabia, he told me he can't deal with this matter because his people is the same people that arrested his ex-wife. I said, General, now what do I do? What do I do? I've complained to you, I've complained to Parliament, I went to General Masamula, I went everywhere. If you don't want to prosecute, let us just give me the certificate and we look for other options. Because this is going through a long time now. Eventually, the docket went to iPad. Mr. Baloy then calls me. I think it's late 2023, under correction. And he tells me, Mr. Chetty, I received your docket here, amongst others, and please come and visit me. I went to visit him. When meeting Mr. Baloy, I looked at the docket and I was amazed because the docket is not the same docket that I opened back in 2022. Mr. Baloy tells me the C clip is missing. There's information missing from this docket because what my affidavit is saying, it's not talking to my annexures. I said, Mr. Baloy, this thing has been tampered with. The memory stick that I attached is empty now. He told me. So it took us about 3 weeks or longer to put the docket together. Eventually, we got it right. Mr. Baloy then takes the docket to Pretoria Magistrates Court to add 2 SPPs. He leaves the docket there. I think it took 6 months, Chair, honorable members, 6 months. And I just put a lot of pressure on Mr. Baloy every maybe month or 2 months, checking on him, what is going on. Eventually, the SPP contacted Mr. Baloy after Mr. Baloy was going all the time there for the docket on their decision. They tell Mr. Baloy that to look into this case is above their pay grade. This is senior people involved. Mr. Baloy then takes the docket to the DPP's office, to Advocate Modibi. Advocate Modibi kept the docket maybe for a good couple of months. Eventually, Mr. Baloy calls me and tells me that, Mr. Chetty, come to my office. I need to explain something to you. When I got to him, I see the docket on his table, and there's a letter from Mr. Modibe saying that, Advocate Modibe, stating that he declines to prosecute because my complaint of the High Court matter is not the same charges in the Magistrates Court matter. But I never complained nothing about the High Court. It was always about the Magistrates Court. The case struck of the roll. I'm comparing the merits of the case struck of the roll to the case in Palm Ridge. So now then, Mr. Baloy gives me the letter. I then went through the letter. I then asked the DPP of North Gauteng for the Nolly prosecution certificate. Never got it. We requested it, I think, about 3 times, but still no response. We eventually then sent a letter to Shamila Batoy. Advocate Batoy is very aware of this case. She knows everything. She knows the merits, she knows the charges, she knows exactly what's going on because IPAD as well approached her. I then, after sending a letter to Batoy, I received a letter from, I think it's Advocate Erasmus, under correction, his name is there, stating that he's looking into this matter as urgent. But honorable members, I didn't ask him. I didn't ask them to review the docket. I asked for my certificate. This was in 2025. 5 January last year, he sent it. My lawyer didn't send him a letter. Please, what is your urgent? What is your urgent? Please, we just need our certificate to move on. And then, surprisingly, 2 days ago, I received a letter from Mr. Modibe stating that my matter is going to be heard at, we need to exhaust all avenues and it has to go to the NDPP. But Mr. Modibe did not realize that the docket is actually with Mr. Notanando, Advocate Notanando, that called Mr. Baloy to collect the docket for the warning statements now. So Mr. Modibe Ribe. He's the same guy, the same advocate that declined to prosecute from the beginning. But now he's saying we need to go to the NDPP to exhaust all avenues. But Mr. Baloy got a call already from the DPP's office to collect the docket and get the warning statements. But this happens 2 days ago. And this is from 2022. I've been open this case. I sat outside General Sabia's office for hours. I went to the inspectorate for hours. I exhausted all avenues. I sent a complaint to the late Tina Jomet Peterson on the same matter. And surprisingly, the day before the late Ms. Peterson passed on, the same IDEC officials was with her. I'm just putting this all on record because I've been crying and complaining. My complaints are all here, but nobody is listening. Not to prove, I'm not looking for innocence here. I just want to prove the abuse of power by these IDEC officials and the judiciary and certain organs of state, like SARS as well. If one can go through my annexures and see the warning statements we signed for the SARS matters, Nico Williams told me that he used bank statements from McKay struck off the roll and a calculator to trump up these amounts. But on the other hand, we are complying with SARS. When I complain to SARS, SARS responds to me that I must go and speak to Paul Lowe. Who is Paul Lowe in SARS? The letter is attached here. So I must go on my complaint to the person that signed my warrant of arrest. That's what they are saying. And then I just refused. And just to put it on record, when I was arrested in 2023, 2 hours before I got arrested, I received an email from the late advocate de Kock, stating that he's attending to my complaint, but he's sending it to Andrea Johnson. But I'm complaining about IDEC, about Andrea Johnson, but he's sending my complaint back to her. So I just didn't understand what he's saying. That's why I'm at 12 of 7 now. Then, can I move on to the next case? Or
Yeah, I want you to conclude at 18 hours. You have 9 minutes. Remember,
it's many years, sorry, Chair, it's many years of me complaining, and I'm having the platform now, and I was shooting all over earlier.
yeah.
So
Remember, we allocated your time before we broke to raise any
Okay.
other
No,
matter
Chair.
that you would have missed. So can we throw it to 6 o'clock?
It's fine. It's fine. Thank you, Chair. I'm going to put it on record as well, and we're going to General Mkhwanazi's allegations, or not, sorry, allegations, his press briefing, involving the media. I complained to many media houses. I have proof. One reporter took attention to my complaint. The reporter, I'm sure everyone knows, Sipho Jack. And he started questioning Perumal, Shabalala, and Beluchan, just to put it on record. And he can be called in. Shabalala and Beluchan threatened to deal with him by putting him in the car and taking him into the bush and so forth. Advocate Shabalala also phoned Sipho Jack and told him about his mom, where his mom is living, how many kids he has, and personal info. Because Sipho Jack was exposing what these guys has been doing to so many families and people. So yes, Chair, it's fine. My story can go on, and I have proof of everything, honorable members. I got facts. I'm not coming up with any allegations here. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chetty. Look, I understand that it will never be enough. But where I'm sitting, I believe that we have afforded you an opportunity to raise your matters with us. And hear me when I say to you that these honorable members have listened to you, they have heard you. When we started this morning, we were with Honorable Sangon, and we agreed we are going to resume the proceedings here at Good Hope. She came back to join us, but she has other pressing commitments that she must go and attend to. And I have decided to release her, but most importantly, to thank her for not saying that because it is 5 or 10 minutes, I will not go there. I will just send the chairperson a message that I'm committed elsewhere. Thank you so much for coming and formally request to leave. That is a very good example of leadership. Yes, being a NWC member of the ANC, you are showing us how to lead. We want to thank you so much for that leadership. That we must never undermine any moment, whether it's 2 minutes or 5 minutes. You go to the meeting and say, honorable members, I would have wanted to be with you, but there is this pressing commitment. I will only sit with you for 5 minutes, and if the chair agrees, let me be released. So for that gesture, I put a high premium, and you are gracefully released, Honorable Sangon. Yeah. Honorable Ngola, are you ready to start?
Ever ready.
Do you want to start now or you want to start at 6 o'clock?
Now, Chair.
Okay. And how much time do you say you want? Are you still stuck on your 15 minutes?
20, Chair.
Okay. Your time will expire at 20 minutes past
Thank you very much.
6.
Thank you very much. 20 is the maximum. Chair.
Yeah, at 20 minutes past 6, you drop the microphone.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I think I want to start with a homework from the testimony of Mr. Chetty. I think the first is that we must write to the Minister of Justice, the NTPP, and the head of IDEC to ask them if they would have employed an investigator at IDEC with the identity of Mr. Baluchan, whilst he has been found guilty by a competent court of law. Also, Chair, I want to implore the committee to write to the National Director of Power Prosecutions to explain prosecutorial delays in respect of the prosecutor Chabalala. Is it Chabalala?
Richard, sorry, Chair, Richard Tyler Shabalala.
Yes. The prosecutorial delays in respect of matters where Mr. Chetty is involved, and also if are there any reasons that all matters involving Mr. Chetty are delegated to the same prosecutor. I also, Chair, wish us to implore the committee to also inquire from the National Commissioner of the South African Police Service if the investigator employed at IDEC, who is a former employee of SAPS, had been made to undergo DC procedures and was dismissed by SAPS. So we need that confirmation. And lastly, Chair, I want to implore us to write to the head of IPID to explain to us on what are the delays in respect of complaints submitted by Mr. Chetty at IPID. Say the first complaint was which year?
Honorable member, my case was open in July 2022, and it got to IPID only at the end of 2023.
Okay. So maybe if they can explain that to us, Chair. Now let's go to the contents of your statement. In paragraph 2.1, you mentioned 6 cases which have been identified to be carrying very serious charges. And you're raising a concern at 2.2, the next paragraph, that all these cases are being investigated by the same investigator, Belachar. Am I pronouncing it?
Sunil Beluchan.
Belachar.
Yes.
But what is your suspicion towards in terms of what the law prescribes? There is no limit at which an investigator or a prosecutor or even a magistrate can be allocated to cases relating to me. So, but we want to get it from you that what is your suspicion around these perpetual people who are involved in your cases, prosecutor, ITEC investigator, the same magistrate who signs the same warrant of arrest and all those things?
Honorable member, Sunil Beluchan was based in the Eastern Cape, Zwelicha. As long as I know, in all his affidavits, in these warrants, written, it's stipulated there that it's based in Zwelicha. Firstly, I don't know if he had any jurisdiction coming here. Secondly, if obtaining 3 warrants of arrest the same day.
You know most,
Yes.
Mr. Chetty, that the jurisdiction is NPA. So NPA can pull up or pull out any resource they have in whatever corner of South Africa.
Honorable member, at that time,
So that's why I'm asking about what suspicion do you have specifically about this?
and I will explain,
Yeah.
sorry, honorable member, I will explain it to you in detail.
Sure.
Sunil Beluchan at that time, when this case was, when he started coming to Gauteng, he was reporting to the DNC at detectives. He was a policeman. He was never at the NPA when he started. All of these cases here are now at IDEC. When listening to Advocate Johnson, I heard about a 27 referral. All of these cases, I have his affidavits where he says he's the complainant and he's the investigator in all of these cases. In all of these cases. So in my view, Sunil Beluchan, Dilip Perumal, Richard Tyler Shabalala, he has taken this thing personal. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know why.
So you suspect that, but they are targeting you. Are these people, Belucham and Pullman, the same people who arrested General Kumalo and others?
100% honorable member.
Oh, okay.
It's the same, sorry, honorable, it's the same.
So you suspect it's the same modus operandi?
Same tactics. In my honorable member, in my affidavit, at one stage where in this, let's call it Hollywood arrest, how they were arresting me. They see me at the police station. I'm signing my bail conditions on a Monday. Tuesday, they see me at court. I'm appearing. Wednesday, while signing in, they're waiting for me outside the police station. 3 cars.
Okay. So you think they're serving whose interest by doing this to you?
I think they Honorable Member, I think they got power excited. Because again, IDEC,
But there is no one who's coordinating this, so it's their issue. There is no one who's saying they must do this. That's why I'm asking whose interest are they doing this, as you allege? You are not aware of it.
in my view, from my understanding, and watching the Ad Hoc Committee over time, and watching Advocate Johnson and a retaliation, I think she is the one, because we go back to James Ramanjulam, which I didn't put on record. Sorry, Honorable Member, we're getting away from your question, but I just want to talk about James Ramanjulam quickly. Before he was arrested, he was friends with Andrea Johnson. Before she got appointed at IDEC. When I was detained with James Ramanjulam in prison, he told me she used to send food to his family, to his daughter. There was a communication going on and so forth. But it's amazing that from all our cases now, James disappeared. Because at that time when we got arrested, Andrea Johnson was not the head of IDEC. It was Harmonia Cronje. So when she got into power, Mr. Ramanjulam disappears from all the cases.
This person who disappeared was the accused person.
He is one of the accused in my
One of the accused.
Yes.
But he was part of the accused list before Advocate Andrea Johnson became head of IDEC. And you can prove that they have a special relationship, whatever it is.
100%, Honorable Member.
Chair, I also want to take a homework from this, that the head of IDEC also explains how this accused just disappeared from the list of accused and whether they have a special relationship, so as to test the allegation from the witness. So you have cast 5 cases of 2022. We have cast 143, 144, 145, and 142. So would you say that they flow from the first case that was registered against you under the case 235 that was struck off roll?
Honorable Member, you're 100% yes.
It's what you call baby cases.
Yes, it's the babies of 335 that was struck off the roll.
So what are you suspecting around it?
The case was struck off the roll because delay from the IDEC, and they requested a racketeering certificate. That is why the case was struck off the roll. So from my understanding, they had a problem bringing the case back on the roll because the magistrate's judgment, which is in my in my annexures, states that they need to go and collect the racketeering certificate and start de novo, which starts afresh. So it was too much of work for these guys, so they rather went to extract statements, evidence from the case struck off the roll and open these baby cases, 143, 144, 145. But all 3 of these cases were authorized the same day, but executed at different times.
Okay, but do you know that in terms of the Criminal Procedure Act, you can join and disjoin cases or charges, in actual fact? In terms of law?
Yes,
Yeah.
but, sorry, Honorable Member, but in this specific case, the case was struck off the roll, 342A, subsection C. They did not comply with the magistrate's order, but what did he rather do is go and take out evidence from that same case and open new cases.
But also, do you know that it is legally permissible that the state can re-enroll a case that was struck off roll?
100%, Honorable
Okay.
Member, I'm aware.
You list a number of cases there in paragraph 2.2 of charges against this Belochan person and confirm that you have a personal knowledge that he is guilty. That's in 2.2 of all charges. How do you know his guilt of charges? I don't understand.
Honorable Member, just remember, I'm just putting it on record. from all the abuse of power from these IDEC officials. They've been trying to silence me for many, many years, putting me in prison, opposing my bail, saying I want to kill them with no evidence, leaving me in different prisons. So I've been reporting it to the media, as I said earlier, and people have been calling me and giving me these things, this information. Yes, I have done my research.
What was your interest when you were doing the research? What triggered you to do this research?
Honorable Member, I've been harassed by, let's say even tortured by this team for many years. They started with me from 2018. I've been complaining everywhere. There's not a place.
So you're starting your own fight back now.
Not a fight.
And
I've been educated. Sorry. I've been using my common sense and utilizing the system where I'm allowed to utilize. I never abuse the system, but these people really abuse their powers, and they only are busy using state machinery to fight their personal battles. I have proof.
Yeah. Okay. 6.12. You make mention of a rape of a minor child. And I must tell you that as this parliament, we've just, in the recent years, passed 3 laws protecting any form of abuse against women and children. So we take particular interest when it relates to these kind of things. Can you elaborate without actually giving us the raw detail, but elaborate for our understanding? What are you talking about?
Which, sorry, Honorable Member.
6.12 in your statement.
Six
6.12.
What page is it? Sorry, Honorable Member.
I'll tell you now. It's page 27. A source from the Eastern Cape informed me that a case of rape was opened against Belochan and Bishop of a minor. Then it continues.
Yes. Honorable Member, this is true. Unfortunately, if I did not have bail conditions that I have to report to Sergeant Belochan to go to the Eastern Cape, I was willing to drive to the Eastern Cape to go and visit this minor's mom. This child's mom opened a case at Bishu in the Eastern Cape, right? On what he has done on this allegation. And I have knowledge there is a medical report. I have knowledge, I have facts that, let's say facts, I am not told they're the same team. All of these guys are aware of it. And I can put it on record. I will put it on record here. I have nothing to lose anymore. I've been arrested many times. I'm not scared. I'm not going to lie here. I'm not here to lie.
But you don't know if that case is still in the roll or it disappeared.
Honorable Member, let me say why I'm saying I'm going to talk the truth. This certain reporter, Sipo Jack, I confronted him with this, and he contacted Advocate Shabalala.
Who is Sipo Jack?
He's the reporter from the Daily News.
Okay.
And he contacted Advocate Shabalala. And Advocate Shabalala says he's aware of it. He's aware of this. And please, you know, Belochan is suicidal. That's what Sipo Jack tells me. Shabalala told him. So regarding this specific case of the minor, it's the truth. And these guys, as long as they have state machinery, will cover up each other. And this, I believe, it's not the first time. It's not the only. I'm dealing with these guys for many years, and I've seen their behavior towards society. Unfortunately, people are silenced to come and talk.
So he means that the alleged perpetrator must be protected from killing himself, whilst the child must be allowed to allegedly be sexually abused, sexually assaulted.
Honorable member, this is my understanding.
Okay, now let's pass. Now, you make mention at 2.3 that you are aware that Mr. Pelocham faced disciplinary proceedings in 2015, and Perulam was the presiding officer in those proceedings. Is this the case you are talking about that happened at SAPS?
Honorable member, he was arrested in a sting operation in 2014 by the Hawks in Eastern Cape. I think the article is in my annexures. And one must remember that I was arrested with a lot of police officers back in 2020. And a lot of the officers as well were going through the departmental cases with the union reps and so forth. And it came to my attention that Dylan Perumal is the one that was sitting as a chairperson to reinstate
Is
Sunil
this
Bell.
case at SAPS?
Yes, this was at SAPS back in 2014, before they came to Gauteng.
No, that's fine.
Mm.
Because anyway, we've already taken a decision to write to SAPS. So they're going to clarify the issues relating to that. But you also mentioned Perulam in the fiasco of PKTT dockets taken from KwaZulu-Natal to head office. Can you brief us? So how is he associated with this?
Honorable member, to my understanding, when I opened up 12 of 7, fast forward, it went to General Sabia. General Sabia knew very well who the suspects were. Dylan Perumal, Richard Tyler Shabalala, Sunil Beluchan. On General Mkhwanazi's press briefing, I put the 1 and 1 together because the suspects in my case from 2022 is the same people at IDEC that he was giving these dockets to. And one must remember that this person by the name of Matthew Sasoko is a big part in everything here. He is Perumal's boss. He is Perumal's boss. And before my arrest in 2023, Matthew Sasoko and Paul Lowe were sitting with General Sabia discussing my case because investigating officer called Richard Tyler Shabalala.
But did you have a case that was investigated by PKTT?
No.
Okay. No, it's fine. It's fine. I think let's drop it there. It was anyway, Tuesday, General Masemola is coming to testify. Wednesday, General Mkhwanazi is still coming. So we'll cross-reference this matter with them. You look so happy.
Thank you, Honorable Member. For the first time in many years, I'm voicing the truth.
Yeah.
The truth. And unfortunately, a lot of people had passed on in these cases. So maybe they're giving me the energy to maybe be happy.
Okay. Let's go to the co-accused you shared the cell with, Mr. Ramanjulam. Is it Ramanjulam? Eh?
James Ramanjulam.
Yeah, so
Oh,
the
right.
evidence leader did ask you do you know that he has been convicted? And you said you are not aware.
Honorable Member, we don't know anything about James Ramanjulam. The IDEC has never brought anything to court stating that he's a state witness or is convicted. Anything. Nothing. So I don't know where he is, but I do know that he and Andrea Johnson were friends because they met in 2020 when.
But this is the same James who disappeared from the accused list.
Yes.
The one you say they have special relationship with the head of IDEC, Advocate Andrea Jones.
Yes, Honorable Member.
He's the same James.
Same James.
Yeah, so you last saw James in the cells at prison.
And I saw him in the cells at prison, yes. And then I did go in 2023 to visit him at CMAX prison in Pretoria.
Hosmanbor.
Yes, because I was also
Did you
there.
find him there?
I found him there at CMAX.
Okay. That was the last time you checked.
Yes.
That's fine. But are you aware from the discussion we held of joinder and disjoinder of charges? Are you aware if there was a disjoinder of charges of James from those of you? Was there a court process that disjointed, separated the charges of James from those of you and others?
Honorable member, never. James disappeared. Never.
So it is your evidence that James Ramanjulam was never formally removed from the charges you all faced.
Honorable member, never.
So you can conclude by saying James Ramanjulam has actually disappeared from the witness list.
100% honorable member, he has disappeared. We don't know where he is, why he's gone.
What have you done to these people? We're still trying to think, why would they behave the manner in which you are alleging?
Honorable member, I did research a lot on Dylan Perumal. There's a Savoy case here. I don't know if you saw it in my affidavit back in 2006 at the SCA. At that time, he was a Lieutenant Colonel, Dylan Perumal. And the same actions he is doing now, he did back then. And in the judgment, the SCA judgment says there's abuse of power here. And whatever they are doing is wrong. And then I fast forward to my bail judgment, which is also here. And
Mr. Chetty,
yes,
thank you very much. Thank you, Chair. I was done.
Thank you so much. It's exactly 20 minutes past 6. Honorable, is it Honorable Nombalo or Honorable Skwasana?
Thank you, Chair.
How much time do you need?
I need the maximum of 30 minutes, Chair.
From 21 minutes past 6
Yes.
to 18:51.
Thank you, Chair.
Your time starts now.
Good evening, Mr. Chetty.
good evening, honorable member.
You know, I think let me make the statement first that as a legal person, I'm not going to be comfortable with asking you questions which are going to get into the merits of cases which are pending, because I believe that I will be doing an injustice to you. That will be prejudicial to your cases, like we have advised you in the morning. I'll just try to scratch the surface with an intention of trying to understand the quagmire that you seem to be faced with. So I think it's important that I make that statement to you that I'm really not going to fall into a temptation of getting into the merits of your cases which are pending.
Thank you, honorable member.
Yeah, I'm telling you so that we will be on the same page. So, are you a businessman?
Yes, I am. Or was. I'm doing nothing at the moment.
What were you doing when you were still a business person?
I was supplying perishables to different government departments on a request for quotation basis.
So, did you have contracts with the government?
Not a contract, a request for quotation. Honorable
You were
member.
supplying
Yes.
for government. So, for which government entities did you supply?
At that time, I supplied the police, correctional service. Whoever sends me a request, I quote. If I get the order, I deliver. So we're using that CSD database. So I never had a contract. Yes.
So, when did you become a businessman?
Honorable member, my dad and I started the business in 2002. So I was working with my dad. I was still young.
So we are saying you are no longer into business. What happened? Why are you no longer in business?
Honorable Member, I've been fighting to stay out of prison because of these members. I have no mindset to do business anymore. I have no faith in the system.
No, but did you leave business because of the circumstances or by choice?
Because of the circumstances.
Yeah, no. So your answer is wrong when you say you have no faith in the system because you left a business because the system was no longer working towards your favor, correct?
Honorable Member, I can't say towards my favor. I never looked for anything that was in my favor. Before being arrested in 2020, I never ever even got stopped at a roadblock and been arrested.
So when you were arrested, you were still in business.
Yes,
So after your arrest, when you came back, then you left business.
yes, I stopped doing business.
So you left business because of the arrest.
I can't say left business, Honorable Member, because if you look at the time frame from 2020 and the times I got arrested and detained in prison, and coming out of prison, it's not an easy thing for one's mind to adjust to say, okay, now you're going to do business and move on. I've been repeatedly, what do I say, terrorized by this IDEC team from, let's say, the late 2018. So it's many years. So
Okay. Have you ever been associated with some political parties, if not political parties, with politicians?
never, Honorable Member.
You know why I'm asking that question? There is an allegation before this committee that IDEC has been weaponized to settle political scores and has been weaponized in favor of a certain cabal and against certain individuals. And that weaponization is politically orientated. So I'm trying to understand here the basis for this victimization that you are claiming. Where does this thing come from, really? Why are you a target? Because many witnesses who have come before us are giving us different scenarios. Others are saying, I'm a target because of my political views, for instance. I'm a target because of my association with certain individuals in the state echelons. Now, if you are a target by certain individuals in IDEC, what could be the reason? What is the source of this victimization? I want you to give us more insight so that we don't scratch where it does not inch.
Yes, Honorable Chair, I understand, and I will answer now. Right. And I need you to also understand where this thing starts from. In 2018, Dylan Perumal and Sunil Beluchan was seconded by the National Commissioner, Khisene Chetty at that time, General Khisene Chetty, to come and investigate allegations sent by SCOPA. Not allegations, a reference sent by SCOPA to investigate FTA. This accounts to 6.1 billion. It's at the beginning of my affidavit. So at that time, Beluchan and Perumal, including General Matlau, at internal audit, right? They used that reference letter to start investigating the branding case. That is what I got arrested for in 2020. 335 of 5, 2020, right? Now, this specific branding case was owned, the previous company is owned by a company called Sharpline Graphics. They've been having this evergreen contract from 2002. It's on the affidavit. Now, Dylan Perumal, General Matlau, Sunil Beluchan used the FDA mandate from SCOPA to start targeting that are taking business away from white monopoly companies, evergreen contracts. At that time, the owner of the company, Laurette Jobé, right? She's the one that opened the case of torture. They tortured her, this IDEC guys. They took her for a couple of days and tortured her. Now, she had the branding case, the police branding, marking of police cars. But the company was very upset now because he didn't get it anymore. The Sharpline graphics.
Okay, are you done?
No, okay.
Yeah, but you are not giving me what I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm trying to understand, I'm trying to establish the political source, because you can't just be victimized for no reason. There must be a reason if really you are being victimized. And if you are a target, there must be a reason. I don't want us to rely on legal technicalities and then assume to understand the problem. We must get the basis. What is the foundational element here? What are the bases for this victimization?
Honorable member, you can say I'm 44 years old. This started in 2018. I was still a very young man when this started happening. This IDEC members we are talking about, they don't care whether you're 8 years old or 20 years old. I'm just trying to get to the point here. They will arrest you and trump up charges. So regarding me, it became personal for Dylan Perumal and Sunil Beluchan. I don't know why. I was never into politics. I was just doing business, I was just minding my own business.
So you have never had any altercation or any fallout or any bone of contention before these legal matters ensued? You don't have any history of not getting along?
Honorable member, never. And my background, I never ever argue with anybody or ever anything like that with these individuals.
So you just realized during the course of these matters that you are a target for strange reasons.
The reason is actually not strange. It's by fighting back. This specific individual, Dylan Perumal, if he doesn't get his way, he will do anything in his power to get his way. And sorry, honorable member, if you just go and look recently what he has done to senior people, I'm the perfect example where it started. You go to the Savoy's case, he has done the same, and he was never reprimanded. And just to put it on record, this judgment, I think it's in 2006, 2007, at that time, it was in the Northern Cape, and the provincial commissioner there was General Sitole, and he was never reprimanded.
Okay, I think, Mr. Chetty, let me ask you this question. And please don't understand me to be subverting your grievances. I believe that you are raising these grievances out of frustration. So you really need to be listened to. And if there is a way, you must be helped. You must be helped out. Have you read the terms of reference for our investigation?
Honorable member, yes, I have.
So where do you think these grievances fall within the terms of reference?
I came to realize, honorable member, this grievance or my complaint that brought me here is against the same IDEC officials that we go back to General Mkhwanazi's press briefing and the courts. I was not given the opportunity to show how the courts are captured, the judiciary. I have proof. I have proof. of fake summons. And I'm not talking about me alone.
Hmm.
In this case, the summons case, we're about 42. So when you're coming to the terms of reference, I'm talking about judiciary, I'm talking about IDEC, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the
Yeah,
media.
because I'm trying to assist you now. Amongst our terms of reference, there is a term of reference that says we must investigate interference, political interference into our justice cluster. So does your issue fall within that scope?
Honorable member, I don't see political interference here. I see IDEC, I see the NPA. So I wouldn't call it a political interference, I'll call it state organs working in cahoots with each other. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Okay, so have you been, do you have a legal representation?
Yes, I have, honorable member.
So did they start to represent you from day one, from when you were charged, from the onset?
Yes, they have, but let me put something on record, honorable member. When the case was struck off the roll in 2020, the same IDEC team went and arrested the advocate that represented me, that initiated the case to be struck off the roll. The same,
What was the charge? For which charge did they arrest him?
they said he got paid legal fees
By who?
unlawfully
By who?
by one of the other accused. But now, let's just take it into,
How far is that case now?
that case is sitting in Palm Ridge as well. From Pretoria, this crime apparently happened in Pretoria Magistrates Court. Shabalala Perumal Beluchan takes this advocate and arrests him and takes him to Palm Ridge. The case now, I'm aware that the advocate, my ex-advocate, he put representations to the NDPP
Okay.
requesting for more
So,
information.
so no, I want us to move together. So after he got arrested, then who replaced him as your legal representative?
Mr. Glenn Malanga.
Who is representing you now?
Yes,
Is the one who's representing you now?
yes, honorable member.
How far has he taken these matters in terms of legal work? Because you know why I'm asking. From a legal point of view, there is a recourse for a particular irregularity. There is a legal recourse. For instance, if the matter has been struck off the roll, when it gets reinstated, when there are no legal reasons for such, your attorney can challenge that. If the matter goes to court, for your attorney can even apply for acquittal. Your attorney can write representations to the SPP if he feels that there are no legal basis for charges against you. I'm making different examples of the available recourse at their disposal. Now, I want to check here, have they done anything to save you? Have they explored those avenues?
Can I proceed, honorable chair?
Yeah, you can respond.
Right. When I came aware of this duplication of charges from the case struck off the roll, right? I approached the High Court of Pretoria in 2022, August. I put an application that these cases should be removed.
Through your attorneys.
Yes, within an application, right? And then I got arrested again in 2023. But at that time, we were still waiting for response from the IDEC NPA. Honorable member, then I got arrested in February 2023. In September 2023, I put a supplementary because during that course, I was abused again by my family is being arrested. I've been receiving AFU orders. and so forth. I supplemented it, right? And then I supplemented the High Court application. We then left it waiting for response from the IDAC NPA. Then I appeared in Palm Ridge court, one of my court dates. My advocate opens his laptop to just check the status of this application of ours, only to find out that our affidavit, my supplementary affidavit, is deleted on case line. We were shocked. We then went to, my advocate then called the instructing attorney and tell him to please upload this thing again. And can you please check on the audit trail what happened? Why did the supplementary get deleted? Anyway, we put it back on the roll. We added the annexures. Our date, our court date was set for, under correction, 28th of June last year. We went to court, only to find out this time my annexures is deleted again off case line. This is where the judiciary comes in. The annexures is deleted off case line, but Advocate Shabalala responds to my supplementary. So how did he respond to my supplementary? But the annexures are deleted. What did he respond to? So now...
Okay, no. I get you, Mr. Chetty. I'm afraid I've got to cut you because my time is very limited. Now, is it your evidence that there is a collaboration of different entities within the justice cluster against you? Because we are mentioning members of SAPS here, we are mentioning members of the NPA, we are mentioning members of IDEC, we are mentioning members of the bench magistrates. So if really what you are saying is anything to go by, then it means there is a deep-seated rot within those entities that I've mentioned. Is that your evidence?
Yes, Honorable Member, that's my evidence, which I have. I have a proper paper trail of showing the rot in the system.
Have you ever written to the Magistrate Commission?
The correction, Magistrate Commission, no, I don't think so.
You've never written, you've never lodged a formal complaint?
Under correction, no. I sent a lot of complaints, Honorable Member. Magistrates Commission, I can't remember.
You said you wrote to the former NDPP advocate Batoine.
Many letters, Honorable Member, to NDPP.
And there was no response there too.
No. I wrote to NDPP. My email is here. I wrote to Parliament. I wrote to Portfolio Committee.
Yeah, no. Let's take them
Yes.
bit by bit. You wrote to the IDEC boss, Advocate Johnson.
Yes,
Did you write
Honorable
to
Member.
her?
Yes.
You also wrote to the Portfolio Committee.
Yes, Honorable Member.
You also wrote to the National Commissioner.
Yes, Honorable Member.
You, somewhere in your statement, you are saying at some point you went to meet with General Spear, is that correct? You went to his office.
Yes, Honorable Member.
You waited for him there.
Yes,
Outside his office, is that
many
correct?
times, Honorable Member.
Did he reach out to you?
He never read. Now, he always. What's the word that I use? He always made me wait for many hours for him, right? Because I obviously didn't have a meeting to go and see him, but I did wait for hours. But he never reached out because he did nothing to my complaint. He just told me to wait. That's basically it.
Do you suspect him to be part of this conspiracy against you?
100%, Honorable Member, because the paper trail talks. He's sitting with Paulo, Manchester Soko, discussing my case, but Advocate Shabalala and Perumal is reporting to Sosoko. And it only came up to me recently because I'm not into politics. I didn't know much that General Sabia and Major Sosoko was in a case together. So it only came to my attention recently. So that's why I have been fighting to come here and vent this. Because the papers talk for itself. Unfortunately, you don't have so much of time and to go through the annexures, and I show you the timelines of everything on
Okay.
how this is.
Okay. Do you know Mr. McBride?
I know Mr. McBride. No.
The former
Thomas Carroll.
IP
No,
boss.
no, I don't know him.
Have you written to him? Did you ever write to him?
No, never.
You
At that
never.
time, he was not at iPad.
So to whom did you write at IPID?
My complaint started in 2022 on this abuse of power. So it went to the executive director of iPad. I think it was a lady by the name of Jennifer. First name, I don't know her surname.
Do you know Mr. Paul O'Sullivan?
I've seen him on Ad Hoc Committee, and he messaged me a month and a half ago. It's in my affidavit.
When last year?
No, 1.5 months ago.
What was he saying to you?
He asked me, he told me that he's referring to an article in the newspaper, I think it's a Daily Maverick, on the Louis Vuitton handbag for General Masamula. And if I can give him any information about General Masamula regarding this Louis Vuitton handbag. And I told him, no, I don't have anything to assist you with. That's it.
No further questions, Chair. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, honorable member, for making, sure that you don't pass the chairperson's time. I don't want to speak about other things, but I'm just saying that.
No, we know already.
No. We are not there. We are not there. We are not there. We are not there. Chair, thank you very, very much. You. Yeah, we are now starting. What's wrong, Chair? You leak things while I'm sitting here. And the chair, I could see you and Sangodi talking there, Thank you very, very much, Chair. And I just want to greet Mr. Chetty. Mr. Chetty.
The honorable member.
I'm going to start in your paragraph, your submission. In paragraph 411 and 412 and 413 of your affidavit, you state that Sunel Elochan allegedly misled the magistrate in the Silverton court case. I don't want to dwell much into court cases in particular, but can you explain what specific false statements were made under oath and why you believe this constitutes perjury?
Honorable member, regarding this case, 145 of 1/2022, that's 4.11, am I right? When applying for this warrant of arrest, Sunil Beluchan states in his affidavit that he came aware of a certain company only in 2021. But actually, when looking at the docket that was struck off the roll in 2021, Sunil Beluchan received this information back in 2020, which he attached a Polfin record, and the date is on there. So he misled the magistrate using evidence from a case struck off the roll and registered a new case. And in the new case, he misleads the magistrate by stating that he only came aware of this in 2021.
So the reference was that case, the FDA, the false statement which was made.
The FDA is that they used the reference of the FDA to come to national office and start terrorizing companies except FDA. The mandate, the reference of SCOPA says they must come and General Sitolia should investigate FDA. So they did not come here to investigate FDA. What they rather did, they hit a smoke screen and decided to investigate everybody else.
Yeah. Now, in paragraph 2.8 and 2.9, because you've made that reference of the FDA. Now, my question would be, can you perhaps in brief clarify the purpose of mentioning the FDA in your affidavit?
Okay. On perusal of my Silverton case that I read, Colonel P. N. Mahoga's statement stipulates there that she, with a reference letter with C23/3/1/2-10/2017, that she's using the reference from SCOPA that was to investigate FDA, but it's in my marking docket. They were not, she used that reference letter as a complaint, like an instruction from SCOPA to investigate the branding case, which was not it. I watched the SCOPA thing. It was about 7 hours that I took my own initiative in watching. So there's nothing there that states on the SCOPA that General Khisene Chetty should investigate the branding and so forth. They use this as a weapon to open many cases against other companies.
Case which you complain about, which was transferred to Rich Court, am I right?
Honorable Member,
Or is another case?
that's another case.
Now, in paragraph 4.6, you stated that you were taken to Rich Magistrate Court, am I right?
Yes, Honorable Member.
What did the warrant of arrest expressly state regarding where you were supposed to be taken after your arrest? Do you believe this was done deliberately? And if so, what was the purpose?
Honorable Member, the warrant of arrest says we should appear in Court 16, Pretoria Magistrates Court. But we ended up in Palm Ridge Magistrates Court, which is 95 kilometers away from Pretoria. The reason for this was that, in my view, was that Richard Tyler Shabalala, Perumal and Beluchan planned this so that we do not get bail. Because we were sent there, we were arrested on a fraud case. But when getting there, they put a third supplementary in stating that I want to kill them and the team. So in my view, that is the reason. And the magistrates center did not want to hear anything from our legal representatives.
Now, when Advocate Andrew Johnson was here, he appeared before us, if you remember. She stated clearly to us that IDEC members do not have any criminal cases or pending cases. And you said something earlier to Honorable Ngola. So in your view, do you have anything which we don't know here?
Honorable Member, thank you. Andrea Johnson is misleading this committee and the country. She knows exactly what I'm about to say. I could communicate with her regarding Lorette Joubet's case on the torture case by Sunil Beluchan and Dylan Perumal. And Matthew Sissoko intervened in stopping these warning statements from being taken. And this is going back, I think, 1.5 years ago already. So by Andrea Johnson coming here and saying that there's no pending cases or anything of that sort, she's misleading the committee. IPID can be called here, Mr. Baloy can be called here, and he will come with the proof that the runaround these IDEC officials are giving him.
So in your view, is that Advocate Andrew Johnson misled the committee?
Honorable member, it's not in my view, it's a fact. She did. I'm a complainant of 12/7/2022. All of these people, these members have IDEC, they're aware of it, but they're just protecting this cabal of people, Dylan Perumal, Sunil Peluchan, and Richard Tyler Shabalala, including Paul Lowe.
Now, you stated clearly when Honorable Member Ngola was asking you about the people who were arrested. You mentioned in your statement here that approximately 70 people were arrested, including your father. Who arrested 70 people? Is it the police or is it IDEC? Who arrested the 70 people? Was
The
it
police.
South African Police Service?
In 2020, at that time, it was Dylan Perumal, Sunil Beluchan. Dylan Perumal was still working at the police as a brigadier. They arrested the 70 plus of us. Yes.
Now, if I remember well, you answered the Honorable Ngola about James. Can you explain exactly what happened to James and the circumstances that led to his alleged torture? And additionally, there have been media reports regarding the torture of Lorette. Are you aware of this case? And if so, what connection does it have to the matters you are raising with us here?
Honorable member, let's start with James. James is the complainant in case 97 of 5/2021 against Sunil Beluchan and Dylan Perumal. The case was opened in May 2021. In retaliation to that case that James opened, these IDEC guys went and opened the string of cases 143, 144, 145. That's in 2022 in retaliation. And that is why they took us to Palm Ridge Magistrates Court. And on the third supplementary, Dylan Perumal, Sunil Beluchan put a statement that I want to kill them and the team, including James. Now, when James was detained with me, under correction, I think we spent 10 days in prison. Beluchan then came again to arrest James while detained in prison with me doing the bail application. And they took him now to Randburg Magistrates Court. They arrested James Romanjulam and Marcel Mani.
Now, you made allegations of collisions with courts. You have alleged that certain courts and magistrates may have colluded with members of this alleged rock unit. Now, I want you to be specific. Can you elaborate on this allegation? Which courts or jurisdiction? Is it Pretoria or Johannesburg? Because you've mentioned the Eastern Cape as well. And who do you believe might be involved? And I think Honorable Ngola asked that. Let me just repeat that again. And why?
Honorable member, let me just go first quickly back to the question I didn't answer for Lorette Jobe and iPad, right? Lorette Jobe was tortured by this team in 2018. They took her from her office stating that they have a warrant of arrest for which they lied. They took her to internal audit where Beluchan, Perumal, and General Charity Matla was there. Charity Matla was there. Lorette Jobe has been approached by IPAD as well. Honorable member, Lorette Jobe has been approached by IPAD. And Lorette, the investigating officer at IPAD that's dealing with one of my cases is Mantium Tukulu, is the same investigating officer dealing with Lorette's case. She told Lorette and me, she called these people to obtain their warning statements. And this is where Andrea Johnson, Advocate Johnson, misleads the committee again. Because she is very aware that these people were called in for warning statements. Up to today, they have not appeared. They have not taken warning statements, right? Now we're talking about that case of Lorette and my case 12 of 7, whereby Mr. Baloy collected the dockets 2 days ago. So I don't know what's going to be going forward there. So there's 2 cases. Now, we go back to your courts. One of the accused with me in 335, she's an elderly lady. They took her from Pretoria Magistrates Court. Sorry, the case was opened at Pretoria Central Police Station. The Magistrates Court is 100 meters away from the police station. But what they tend to do is take it to Pretoria North Police Station, a court, Magistrates Court. The reason is that is the forum shopping. Now from Pretoria Central Police Station, instead of going to Pretoria Magistrates Court, which is 100 meters away, they take this certain individual, which is one of the accused in my matters, to Pretoria North. When taking this lady, I'm aware there is another lady as well. They arrested 2 ladies for the same matter. One must note, me going through this lady's case of Salomina Kosa, they got statements from the Northern Cape SASSA, which is out of this jurisdiction in Gauteng. Right? I'm also aware of the other accused being, she's an elderly lady, under correction, she's 70 years old, has been sentenced for 10 years to imprisonment. And I also am aware that the accused has paid back the money to SASSA. That's what I'm aware of. And then we go to Pretoria a commercial crimes court.
So sorry, just to clarify, you say the accused has paid what? SASSA what?
I'm aware that the person that is sentenced has paid SASSA the fine back that she claimed from SASSA.
The person, who's that person?
This is one of Perumal and Beluchan's projects as well. This is another family that is after.
Now, if I understand you well, why do you have this opinion that we are being targeted?
Honorable Member, 3 warrants of arrest executed the same day, signed the same day, executed differently, taken to different courts, sent to prison on allegations that I want to kill the team, and then come out on bail, arrest me a year later, and come up with the same allegations that I want to kill them, oppose my bail, spend another month in prison. I do not know why I'm targeted, but maybe the only reason is that I've been fighting them. From all these accused, it's only me that has been fighting them, trying to expose them, looking for help from state organs.
Yeah. Now, you made an allegation about the cabal and the rogue unit coordinated team. You stated that this inverted commas, this group operate as a cabal or a coordinated unit. In your view, how does this unit operate as a coordinated group? Do they have other cases or other people they've targeted, or you ever heard about that? That perhaps besides you believing that they are targeting you?
Honorable Member, one must take it into note, maybe I forgot to put it on record. When I got arrested in February 2022, this team approached me, wanting me to give them statements on certain generals, which I never knew, I don't know. As the Honorable Member asked if I know politically anybody, which I don't know, and I refused. They just wanted, they wanted to draft an affidavit for me and talk about generals that I don't know, that I did wrongdoing with them.
Okay.
And leave me and my family alone, which I refused.
So Mr. Chetty, you confirm that you are currently facing criminal charges in matters related to the very investigation you are criticized before this core committee, correct?
Yes, Honorable Member.
The timing, or let me start by saying the evidence vis the allegations. In your affidavit, you make several serious allegations against Detective Sergeant Beluchan. Can you point out to this committee to a single piece of independent evidence or the evidence you have against these allegations?
Honorable Member, the evidence that I have is duplicating charges. It's in my annexures. If you guys have access to it, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. The evidence is here.
Yeah, earlier is this which you said to us that the information you gave us and Honorable Ngola that there were multiple cases, 3 to 4 cases, which were open against you whilst you are in the police. When you go out, there's 3 cars waiting for you. Am I right if I heard you well?
100%, Honorable Member.
Now, apart from your own statement, do you have any corroborating witness, anyone who can corroborate your information which you deposited to us? Perhaps a person who you think, I think you've mentioned James Ramajalan, or anyone who can really give us another version.
Honorable Member, I was arrested with other generals, brigadiers, colonels. Just to put it on record, the abuse of power by these guys, these generals, family members, colonels, brigadiers will come and talk to the same story as I'm talking, but they have their own story regarding this IDEC team. Just to put it on record, sorry, Honorable Member, in 2020 when we were arrested, one of the colonels that were brought to the police station was brought in his underwear, right? And his vest.
In his underwear?
Underwear and his vest.
Court brook?
Yes, underwear. I think 4:30 in the morning. He can be called here. And we witnessed it, right? That's one. And he was brought to by Ekurhuleni police, not by anyone in Pretoria or anything in 2020.
When you say Ekurhuleni police, you mean that
Ekurhuleni.
it was a traffic fine?
It was a traffic police officer that executed the warrant to come and fetch him in his underwear and brought him to the cell.
So why was he arrested? Was he found speeding or
No,
what was the
he
issue?
was arrested in the branding case on the 4th of June, 2020. Nah? We were 16 people, Honorable Member.
A Metro Police?
Yes, that went to execute his warrant. And that is what happened. And another Honorable Member, another guy was brought from Venda, an old retired colonel. I think it's Colonel Mabasa. Honorable Member, they put him at the back of the bakkie and they brought him in the early hours of the morning to Silverton Police Station. We asked the police officers, then we were 16 people, all of them can come in and testify and give the truth. We asked the police officials to please put the stove on to make the uncle warm, to keep him warm. They put him in the back of the bakkie and brought him all that way. An ex-colonel, he just retired like, I think a month prior to his arrest. So everybody in these cases, Honorable Members, they have a story. But they are scared. They're scared to come out. As long as these guys are in power and they have state machinery, people are scared to talk. I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow morning if I get arrested by the same team now to silence me.
Yeah, I've got only 3 minutes to go. I just want to find out exactly because Honorable Ngola as well, I'm sorry to repeat that. I think he asked you about why do you say Perumal, Beluchan from the Eastern Cape were conducting illegal and unlawful investigation against you?
Honorable Member, when I say illegal, because when I go back to the SCOPA mandate, Honorable Members here will have full access. There is nothing talking about anything to do with the branding, which started back in 2020. It only has to do with FDA and 6.1 billion rand. And that
6.1 billion rand.
Yes.
What was that for?
irregular expenditure.
Oh, okay.
So they used that reference to start investigating everybody, including that person that was sentenced now for the SASA matter and her family.
Now, my last question will be, may you please explain why did Beluchen and Perumal meet you privately knowing exactly that you are a suspect?
Honorable member, there is a time where they asked me, give them a statement on all of these generals. General Pashlani, General Mkhwanazi, who was arrested with me. There's a general, I think in the Blue Lights case, there's a General Delanga. They just wanted me to trump up a statement to say I did these unlawful things for them, which never happened. I didn't even know these people. I didn't. So this specific question you have asked me, IPAD is dealing with it. And I am aware they did not come to Gauteng, One State Resources. It was on a private capacity.
Now, Chair, with your benevolence, I think I've got a minute to go. In your statement, if I remember, I've seen something that the complaint that you were taken to the Eastern Cape. There was Richard Chabalala, an advocate. Am I right?
I was not taken to the Eastern Cape.
Or you were complaining that Advocate Chabalala, if I heard you well, and there's Mabaso or whoever you've mentioned. Are you alleging that they are working together? Baloyi, I think it's Baloyi, the IO, the investigation officer.
The investigation officer from IPAD.
I'm not sure where he's from.
No. The investigating officer from IPAD has been trying to assist me, but always hitting a dead end. No, I'm
Okay.
aware that Advocate Chabalala does cases all over. He goes, arrests people here and take them to the Eastern Cape. That I'm aware. In this case that I've opened, that is at IPAD, is an extortion case. And you must.
Who did he extort you?
This is the extortion case I opened against Sunil Beluchan, Dylan Perumal, and Chabalala. But one must take it into record.
Sorry, I'm sorry to
Yes.
interrupt because the chair is going to stop me. Who did they extort you? They wanted money from you or extortion how?
Extortion, which is in my docket at IPAD. It's in my IPAD
Yeah,
docket.
but can
Yes,
you
yes,
tell the Kokom
Yes.
committee? They wanted
Yes.
money from you.
Yes.
How
Yes.
much?
Advocate, honorable member, that is disclosed in my docket. And I think the investigating officer should be called here. She has all the proof, she has everything. But she has been getting blockages from IPAD because whenever she goes to Eastern Cape, they say there's no funds for her to conclude her investigations.
Thank you, Chair.
Sorry, one thing, honorable member, sorry.
Yes.
One must even take into record that Sunil Beluchan was arrested in 2014 in a sting operation whereby he extorted 30,000 rand from a Pakistani national for cigarettes. And they put a sting operation, which he got arrested the next day to go and collect his 3,000 that was short. So he has.
Who was shot? The Pakistan.
No. The Pakistani gave him 27,000, honorable member. And the next day, he needed to go and collect his 3,000 rand. And that's when they put this whole sting operation together to catch him. And he was arrested. So one asked, how is this man still walking the streets in a sting operation being arrested? And being back in the police?
When you say in the police at IDEC?
No, at that time,
And then it was
working
still
at
a police.
Yes, in 2014. It's in my affidavit that.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I saw
Yes.
that. No, thank you, Chair, for your benevolence. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Matthys.
Thank you, Chair, and good evening, Mr. Chetty. Let's just start off with the IPAD case. You opened it when? Just so we can have it on record, more or less when?
Good evening, honorable member.
Good evening.
I opened the IPAD, that case, 12 of 7, 2022.
In 2020?
Yes,
Okay.
but it only got to IPAD in, under correction, 2023, a year later. Or it was early 24, yes.
Okay. So unfortunately, we're not taking any more witnesses here by the committee, but I am going to ask that our secretariat, we write to both SAPS to ask why the case took so long, or give us an explanation, Chair, on why the case took so long to get. I'm sure 1 year is a bit of a stretch. even for our criminal justice system. And then also to IPID to give us an explanation on the delays in processing the matter as well. And then my colleague started off, we were trying to understand Advocate Johnson's role and how. So from what I gather, or what you've said, is that one of the members of IPID, and I didn't get his name, works with IDEC and obviously has access to Advocate Johnson. So there's no political interference, there's nothing political about it. It's just a member that is abusing his access to deal with you.
Honorable Member, at this stage, I don't even think anymore is to deal with me because this person we're talking about now worked at
Can you say the person's name again?
Matthew Sissoko.
Okay.
Yes, he was the head at IPID and then he moved to IDEC,
Okay.
but he still has influence in IPID.
Okay.
That's why these cases are open,
Okay.
never moved.
So that person, say his name again?
Matthew Sissoko.
Sissoko.
Yes.
Mr. Sissoko. Why, in your opinion, why you?
Honorable Member, one must take into consideration the reason why is that Beluchan and Perumal is the person executing all his warrants. And
No, but why you? Not who's, like, we know what they're doing, right? And if they are not being procedural in what it is they need to do, if they think you have a case to answer for, why? Is there something that you're not, or you don't know? Because people do wrong things for a reason. So why do you think they have identified you?
Honorable Member, I think it's because I've been fighting them and I saw the duplication and I opened the case. And these guys regard themselves as untouchables.
Okay, so I understand that, right? You fought back, but you fought back. Why did they start that process of? So they opened cases, the cases were not done properly, and you fought back. So then they just decided to continue, or they wanted you to take it lying down. The cases that they opened against you, was it fair game?
Definitely not.
So
Firstly,
why did they do it? Let's start off there at the root of it. Why do you think it was done?
up to today, Honorable Member, I still don't know. I just know they abuse the system. I've been arrested, put in prison many times now. I don't know. I would appreciate the committee to call Dylan Perumal, Sunil Beluchan, Matthew Sissoko.
No, we can't call
Yes,
them all here,
I-
but what we can do, and our colleague did say that we need to write and get them to respond to specific questions in this regard. Because, I mean, even if someone gets murdered, there's a motive behind it, right? Whether it was accidental or whatever. So when someone is identified by people in high positions and are abusing the system, they're doing it for a reason, whether it can be extortion or whatever the case may be. So that's why we are asking, why do you think? Because that assists us in seeing what could have possibly happened.
Honorable Member, regarding this team, you don't personally know them, and it's difficult for me to say that. Like especially Sunil Beluchan is a very sensitive guy. He throws tantrums. He's a person like that. If he doesn't get his way, he'll arrest you for nothing. He's like a.
I understand what you're saying, right? I'm just understanding. So you're saying you might be one of many people they are doing this to. They just saw a case and it wasn't fair game and they just came because they could. Because that's just a very, very wild card. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. I'm sure there are a lot of South Africans that might be experiencing the same thing. But if you cannot put your finger on anything in particular on why you would be targeted, outside of you saying that they just want to flex, you have an opportunity to put it on record.
I've been targeted. Now I hear where you're coming from, Honorable Member. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I wasn't thinking properly, maybe. We go back to the branding case. This case was given to a company, an evergreen company, for many, many years, right? And we go back also from me being arrested with the ex-generals, General Mkhwanazi, who was the head of supply chain at that time. He explained to me, he took a case, the contract away from AutoZone. AutoZone had a police contract for many years, supplying spares. I think it's 2 billion rand. It's a 2 billion rand contract over the 2 years. Now, the only way, in my understanding, to get these senior police officials is by them to use me on the branding matter, right? And use the SCOPA mandate.
Why would they choose you? Were you part of it? The branding, did you have any association with the
Yes,
contract?
yes.
Okay, that makes sense then. Okay, then I got it. So it's not random. It's got to do with the tender.
It has to do with it.
Okay. I don't really have that much questions because, I mean, this matter is before courts and except for what we can do in terms of us giving oversight, we've already listed some of the things that we can do, and we'll give you an opportunity to say who else we need to engage and get written statements from to explain whatever we need to explain. But Mr. Chetty, what I want to say, there's been two things that have come out clearly since we've started these ad hoc proceedings. Number one is that we have seen the abuse of power within the criminal justice system and across all the entities, right? By not just your average member of these institutions, but very high-ranking ones as well. We've seen how they weaponized the system for whether it's for corruption, for personal vendettas, whatever the case may be. It's happened. We've seen it. And that's pretty much what our proceedings have taken shape. But what we've also seen is that we've also seen private citizens infiltrating or attempting to infiltrate these systems, either to capture it or either so they cannot be held accountable for their corrupt activities, or they can continue with their corrupt activities, or for them to be able to do business with the state. So those are generally the two categories of the people that we have seen or what we have been dealing with in this committee. You in one of those two, either one of those two categories. So what I would like you to do now is to just tell us what you would like the committee to do outside of what we have already asked, both myself and the colleagues that have come before me, who we must write to. We're not taking any more witnesses anymore. But when we go into deliberations, we can say, this person needs to answer these specific questions in a sworn affidavit, and those will also form part of our deliberations when we have to make recommendations or findings. And you've given your testimony here, so obviously we have to deal with your case as well. So outside of what we have asked and what the honorable members have already said we must do, who have we left out?
Honorable member, to my head now, to my mind now, the honorable chairperson did say that we should write to an honorable member to the National Congress, because I feel that it's very unlawful that this specific person has a warrant of arrest on his name and is going around arresting senior people in government, which is wrong. It's totally unacceptable. And he's in possession of his own docket. So, and also.
So Mr. Chetty, what I'm going to ask you,
Yes.
outside of what we've already said, if you're feeling a bit overwhelmed now, you can say so. And then what I suggest you do is that you submit us a list of names and what you think the committee should write and ask for them to respond to. If you can think of any names right now that we have not mentioned or who we need to write to, you can say it. If you want to do that submission in writing, then we can do that. And then anything else you would like the committee to do outside of that.
Honorable
Doesn't
member,
mean we're going to do it, but you can make a recommendation.
honorable member, I appreciate that and I think I will do it because on my affidavit and there's a lot of annexures, yeah, I complained to a lot of state organs, a lot of people. So I wouldn't want to do a repetition now. So if I can just apply my mind, just go through my information, and if I can, as you're saying, submit recommendation, I would.
No, just on who we must write to, but
Yes.
you can also make recommendations, including you said that you've written to the committee. I'm assuming it's the police committee here. You must say that we must write also, and the police committee chair must respond to what do they do or how do they follow up with the statement. So I'm just giving you an example on how we can move in that direction. Because if you do not get responses, we are here. Our job is to give oversight. And you might not be the only one. Well, you're definitely not the only one. But part of this process is to make sure that all our institutions are functioning as they should, and they must be able to come and account. And it doesn't mean that you're going to clear your name, but at least they're going to have an opportunity to be able to respond, since they did not respond to you as they should.
Honorable member, yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Matthias, Honorable Socks.
I finish at 5 to 8. What is that?
Yeah. Yes, Honorable Member.
Thank you, Chair. Mr. Chetty, good evening.
You finish at 5 to 8 and then I finish at 10.
No problem, Chair. I shall be here with you.
Good day, honorable member.
Mr. Chetty, now I must be honest with you. I'm not gonna say that I'm gonna guard against questioning you on issues that might incriminate you, because you said you are willing to answer any question. And so I'm just gonna ask what I see in your affidavit. If it incriminates you, it's on you. And then if you go to jail, in my eyes, it will be the committee has done their work. So it's on you. I want us to go step by step with the timelines so that I can understand correctly. So the SOPA sitting is on the 29th of November, 2017. Correct.
Yes, honorable member.
And you testify that your name in that session is not mentioned.
Yes, honorable member, it's not mentioned.
Then in your affidavit, you provide us with an affidavit by is it Colonel Portia
Maoga.
You provide that. But I note you only provide us with the first page of the affidavit. Why did you do that?
Honorable member, there's a lot of documentation and I have submitted the complete docket with everything to Mr. Romano. The complete docket, which is 655 pages. So I only took extracts out that will not just like benefit me, just to prove that they use the SCOPA mandate to institute.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
Okay.
now, but you must remember now, for my interest, I see that you put somebody else's affidavit as part of your annexures. So now I just see one page, you see, and then in the page that you have attached, she refers to other things, other appendixes on her affidavit. Now I'm interested to see those appendixes. Now I can't see it because you only submitted one page of that affidavit that you use as evidence. So it was a question in my head, you understand?
Honorable Member, I agree with you, I understand, but everything has been submitted to Mr. Romano, the complete dockets with a complete statement and everything is in there.
Okay, we don't have the complete affidavit of Colonel Portia. Nevertheless, the first page that you use that as basis to say that they started or created charges against you just because of the SOPA meeting or whatever. Is that what you're saying there?
I'm saying, Honorable Member, that this team was never IDEC before. They were called by the National Commissioner. They were still police at that time. Dylan Perumal and Richard Tyler, and Sunil Beluchan
Yeah.
were seconded to the National Commissioner's office, right? To Keshla Shitole. And they were then working with internal audit. And that is General Matlau and this Colonel Mahoga. So they used that mandate of SCOPA to start investigating everything else but FDA and related companies. When going back to watch the SCOPA, the whole SCOPA, what do you call the video? It is, if the other companies is related to FDA, their names are there. So it has nothing to do regarding any one of the other cases that Sunil Beluchan and Dylan Perumal is open. It's not just me, there's many other people.
Yeah.
People have just not come out.
So the affidavit, the first page that you've sent, if you have a look there,
What page is, sorry, annexure?
I think it's KC3. Paragraph 3. It says, in your affidavit, on the 2nd of March, 2018, the National Commissioner gave a mandate to internal audit to investigate contract management irregularities. Then there's an Appendix 1 of the copy of the letter signed by the National Commissioner. You also attached that. That is KC4. Now, what that says is that internal audit got a mandate from the National Commission to say investigate allegations of irregularities and contract, or rather contract management irregularity. So there's a mandate given from the commissioner, say, investigate this. Then it goes on to say, part of the projects listed as a priority was to review the alleged procurement irregularities pertaining to marking of vehicle. Then it says in Appendix 2, which I didn't see because it's not attached here, it says copy of the email from anonymous in terms of reference. So now it says, what motivated this? It's not just the 7-hour meeting that you watched based on this thing that you sent. It says there was an anonymous email that talks about this. Then it says on the 12th of November, 2018, the South African Police Service internal audit received an affidavit from Mr. Underwood alleging procurement irregularities at the division. And then Appendix 3 has the affidavit of Mr. Underwood. I didn't see it because it's not, you only have one page. Now, what that says is, one, internal audit investigates because they got a mandate from the station commissioner. That's procedural. 2, there's an anonymous email that anonymously says there's irregularity. 3, There's an affidavit by a Mr. Underwood that says there's irregularities. So now this, your name is not mentioned because at this point, it's not about you. It's about complaints and exposure of irregularities, and internal audit must go and investigate based on this information received. Do you see that?
Yes, Honorable Member.
Do you agree?
No, Honorable Member.
Explain to me.
Honorable Member, let's go back to the reference that is used here. I took it onto my own time to go and view the whole SCOPA setting. I did consult with my legal counsel regarding this. Unfortunately, we wouldn't have the time here to watch it and so forth, but this anonymous letter, it's anonymous, and now we see that it's from Dave Underwood. Who is Dave Underwood?
No, based on what you've sent, there's two appendixes. Underwood's affidavit is different from the anonymous email. So these are two different things. What you sent to me, I'm reading that what motivates the investigation, not into you, into irregularities in supply chain. At the time in 2018, let's go step by step. Do you agree that at the time in 2018, when this investigation starts, your name is nowhere there? Do you agree?
Honorable Member, I disagree.
Okay, now you must help me because I'm looking at the affidavit that you sent to me, right? So in 2017, there's the SCOPA meeting. You testify, your name is not mentioned there. 2018, the investigation is mandated. Are you saying your name was there?
Honorable Member, this members open up an inquiry case under correction on the date now, but it's prior to this letter here. And they were running on an inquiry case whereby they obtained a statement to Neil Beluchan, which is in the docket that I have sent, that he visited Dave Underwood. Now, Dave Underwood is the ex-supplier of the police branding of cars. We're going back 20 years, which he disposes in this affidavit, right? Now, this is where I bring you to where I'm not mentioned here. I don't know if it's answering your question. or
Are you
going-
mentioned there? In
Sorry.
2018, is your name mentioned there? Or is the investigation for irregularities in 2018? There, what you've sent is what I want to know.
No, it's not there.
Sorry?
It's not there.
That's what I mean. So your name is not there. No one is saying go and investigate Chetty. The assignment is go and investigate allegations of contract management irregularities. That's the assignment. Who must do it? Internal audit. Are we on the same page?
Honorable Member, I hear where you're coming from, but this reference regarding FDA and related companies, right? This is Colonel Mahoga's letter here.
No, I see it.
Yes, it's us.
I'm trying to go to what you've sent to me, and I'm trying to tell you what I'm reading from what you sent. And we agree in 2018, internal audit is not investigating Chetty. Internal audit is investigating allegations by Mr. Underwood, by the anonymous email that's mentioned by what you gave. And I'm saying, let's go slow. Do you agree? 2018, internal audit is investigating allegations of contract management irregularity.
Honorable Member, what do you say, 2017 or 2018? 2017.
2018,
Yes,
2nd March, she gets the mandate. And then 12th of November, they get that affidavit from Underwood. Now they go and investigate the allegations. I just want us to, are we on the same page there? They don't go and say, we are going to investigate Chetty. They go and say, we are going to investigate allegations of contract management irregularities. Then they must come back after the investigation. Then they will know who's involved. So it's most now a step-by-step process. So do we agree that 2018, the investigation is go find out what's happening here?
honorable member, I disagree. Let me explain.
But you must do it quickly now because we're stuck on this point.
Okay, I
Yeah,
hear you.
because I want to give you a fair
Okay,
opportunity,
yes.
but now
Yes, I
you're
hear you.
dragging it. So you must quickly tell me, why do you say you were not involved there in the beginning? Your name was not involved there, not in the SCOPA meeting. In the SCOPA meeting, the discussions was about the irregularities. That was what the 7 hours was about. Now they come, they say, go and investigate these allegations. There's a mandate for internal audit, and there's an anonymous email, and there's an affidavit from Underwood. You use this now and say, go and investigate whether there's any truth to this.
Honorable member, the letter comes from General Sitole to investigate FTA and related companies. The reference that is used is going back to SCOPA on the 29th of November 2017. From my
understand.
understanding, my understanding, they deviated from going and investigating FDA and related companies. What they did, they used this letter or this mandate to go and investigate everybody else but FDA.
Okay, that's a claim that you are making, that's fine. But the point is, whether it's FDA but they went to go and investigate contract management irregularities. And they don't go and investigate Chetty in 2018. That's what I want to get at. They're going to investigate an alleged issue.
You see, honorable member, I hear where you're coming from.
No, you mustn't hear what I'm saying now because we must move from this point.
Yes,
I'm
but-
losing time. You must say, number one, you're not part, your name is not there. You testify. They're going to investigate an issue, and that investigation of the issue will reveal names. Do we agree there?
Honorable member, they did not start investigating me in 2018. They started in 2017 based on an inquiry. When they got this letter.
That's not here.
Yes, unfortunately, it's not there.
But now we must deal with what you told me.
Yes, yes.
You can't now do what you're doing. I took it on good faith, what you gave me. So what you gave me says they went to investigate an issue. Do we agree?
Yes, honorable member.
Right. We took very long with that, and now my time is almost up.
I apologize, honorable member.
So now they go and investigate the issue. They take 2 years because you get arrested.
In 2020.
2020. So 2018, 2019, 2020, they've investigated. They now come and say, Chetty, the internal audit comes and says, we're handing over now. This is what we've discovered. Chetty and others are involved in this issue. It goes from internal audit to IDEC, NPA, whatever.
It was, sorry, honorable member, it was at the police at that time, the SAPS.
Yeah, whichever way, but I'm saying internal audit is now saying this is what we found. Yes?
Yes, honorable member.
Now that they say this is what we found, now that's where Chetty appears. That's now where internal audit is saying there's merit to these allegations. You guys now go and you investigate. Now that's where your problem starts with when they investigate They arrest you. And when they arrest you, it takes 2 years. They arrest you in 2020, in 2020.
Yes, honorable member.
And then you receive bail on the 5th of June, 2020.
Yes, honorable member.
And then accused 1 to 22 appears on the 29th of September, 2020. And the prosecution asks the court for time to conclude investigation. Yes?
Yes, honorable member.
And then after that, the court grants them 6 months to conclude the investigation. They then come back on the 25th of March, 2021. When they come back, this is when you testify the court strikes this thing off the roll because the state comes back and says, you gave us 6 months to close. We ask for 6 more months or 7 more months on the 25th of March. And your attorney applies for it to be struck off the roll and he's successful. This matter is now struck off the roll, correct?
Just to put it on record, honorable member, from the duration of the 4th of June 2020 when we arrested to the 25th of March 2021, many people we were 16, the first we were 16, and during the time, we all accumulated to 41.
That's fine.
Yes.
I mean, there's even 70 others, but I'm trying to get to the timeline facts here now, which now shows abuse of the system by these investigators. How? There's evidence or the investigation is done by internal audit. These guys have to execute, make a case and take it to the courts. They go to court in September. The court gives them 6 months to go and complete the investigation. They come back in March the following year. They still haven't completed it. The court strikes the matter off the roll because of unreasonable delays. And that's what you testified, correct?
Yes, honorable member, and that they requested a racketeering certificate.
No, they're asking that should happen. The court should give them leave for 7 more months so that they can go do that. Yes?
Yes, honorable
Then the
member.
court says, I'm not going to do that. You have delayed. You have infringed on the rights of the accused. They struck it off.
Yes, honorable member.
So that's negligence from the side of these investigators. It's wrong what they did. Why? Because now on a technicality, the merits of the 6.1 billion is now not heard in court, and that's public funds. And then you now have evidence of how else there's been an abuse of power. You also mentioned that there's an abuse of power. You cite a case. What's the case called?
This is the Savoy case.
The Savoy case. You cite that case and you say that, what's the investigator's name?
Dylan Perumal, honorable member.
Sorry?
Dylan Perumal.
Dylan.
Yes.
He is found guilty of abuse of power in that case.
Yes, honorable member.
And that's your proof that they are guilty of abusing their power. Yes?
Yes, honorable member.
Now, I'm going to spend my last 10 minutes with you now. I'm taking it now for the record that I agree with you. There was negligence here because now that case in March 2021 was struck off the roll because of negligence of the prosecutor, Shabalala, and the other investigators. So there, I agree with you based on our terms of reference. We can use that to say abuse of power even with that case. Now I want to deal with, because I'm a public servant, I'm concerned about the 6.1 billion. That case that to date has not been heard. So I want to ask you around that. I'm going to skip some questions because now my time is almost gone. So the 6.1 billion thing that internal audit has investigated, how many companies do you have?
I own one. And at that time, I think it was two companies.
Two companies. You are the owner of Vatika Trading.
No, I'm not. Loreto Bay is.
You are a beneficial owner.
No, Loreto Bay was
What?
renting from my premises.
What is your company?
My company is called Bambanani Trading and Marketing.
Even in 2018.
Yes,
Okay. How many companies do you control?
I controlled my two companies.
Just your two companies.
Yes.
How many, rather, what was your business model with SAPS?
Honorable Member, as I said earlier, that I receive a request, I code, I get an order. Sometimes I don't get an order. 90% of the time, you don't get an order. It worked like that with all departments.
Do you know that that model is the same business model that Kate Matlala used for the Tembisa Hospital?
Which model is that, Honorable Member?
Of the quote requesting scenario, and then you have somebody inside, and then they have a certain threshold for what they request quotes for. They do multiple within a network, and then that's how they get business.
Okay, I'm hearing it from you now, Honorable Member.
But is that is that how it happened with your?
No,
How did
Honorable
yours
Member.
happen?
Honorable Member, that as you said earlier, that I am dealing with in court. That is some of my charges. That is some of the merits of the cases. So I'm saying now, I am here today on the abuse of power, not
Yes.
to look for justice for myself here. I'm here on the abuse of power.
And I agree with you on what I've seen on abuse of power. But you must remember, nothing on the case so thus far has dealt with the 6.1 billion. So I'm going to end with this, and which is my interest because I'm a public servant. There was an internal audit done, an investigation done. The fact of the matter is 6.1 billion is irregularly used. Nothing is said about that. The gentleman by the name of James, the guy that you, Ramanjulam, do you know that he has a plea agreement with the police?
Honorable Member, as I said earlier, I don't know what his dealings is. I know he was arrested with me. I don't know what agreement or arrangements he has made with these guys. And let me just explain
I'll
something,
tell you
Honorable
what,
Member.
just because my time is going to be up, I'll read for you and you can say whether you agree with it or not, that he had a plea agreement with SAPS and he pleaded guilty on a total of 10 charges. 6 counts of fraud for misrepresenting how government contracts were handled. 1 count of extortion for using threats to force another company to withdraw business. Corruption 2 counts, money laundering 1 count. So the case focuses on 2 main areas of corruption: the rigged blue light tenders. Him and others manipulated the technical requirements for police vehicle emergency lights, threatening competitors. When other companies complained that the tender was unfair, he would threaten through Rainbow, telling them they would never get another police contract unless they withdrew. Hidden income, failed to disclose nearly 1.8 million in extra income, and he was a police working within supply chain, illegal fees. This is him pleading guilty to these things. After being arrested in 2020, Ramanjulam accepted an offer from Kishene Chetty to have his legal fees of 120,000 paid for him, which is considered an act of corruption. This is what he pleaded guilty to as a plea agreement. Are you aware of this?
Remember, it's the first time I'm hearing this. As I said earlier to council, he spoke to me about James's statement, and I had no interest in reading James's Ramanjulam statement because I witnessed James being tortured by the same people. I was concentrating, and I am concentrating on my own cases. I actually have no interest in what James is saying. I know him personally. I spent time with him in prison, and he was under duress. Whatever you read to me now, I know it. I know the man personally, and I know what Beluchan and Perumal is capable of doing. So
Now that's the case that is currently ongoing. I'm saying to you, you said earlier you didn't know what happened with him. I'm saying I read his plea agreement. And what I read to you comes from his plea agreement. And that's what he's saying about yourself. I'm ending with saying, as I started, I also think that there is abuse of power. There's a misuse of authority, as you've stated, as I've shown. But I'm also interested in the fact that out of all of these things, we are not talking about the 6.1 billion rand out of public coffers that has been investigated, handed over, and there's no closure on that. Do you understand where my concern is?
Honorable Member, I'm 110% with you there. But the 6.1 billion has nothing to do with any other company but FDA. I will appreciate this committee to request the minutes of that SCOPA mandate, that sitting, and understand better on what I am trying to explain here. And unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to explain 7 hours of watching.
Yes, but you will have an opportunity to do so when you appear. Because when you appear, these are the charges that they have against you. And you are saying to us, the charges that they have against you has nothing to do with 6.1 billion. Either way, I don't know you, I don't know the investigators. What I do know is that there was potentially contract management irregularities to the tune of 6.1 billion. And the charges are against you, it's against 70 other people. I'm interested in what happened there. So you should be satisfied
Thank you
that
so
you
much.
have the abuse.
Thank you.
I've seen it, but also there's no answers yet to 6.1 billion that they are saying you're involved in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I please?
yeah, he does no longer have time.
Honorable Member.
When he had time, he mentioned it that he is worried that his time is running out. And when his time runs out, that is the moment he puts his foot on the accelerator.
Aye.
But because I'm the benevolent chair, I'm going to allow you to respond.
It is because of him, Chair. But I wanted to be fair to him and not make him feel suppressed. He took 15 of my time.
Okay.
I appreciate it, Chair. Thank you. Honorable Member, if we look at the date of the 6.1 billion, right? And you look at the timeline, as you said, when the SCOPA mandate was given in 2017, talking about the 6.1 billion, not even the branding case was running even for 3 months at that time. Are you with me, Honorable Member? I'm just trying to prove to you on the timeline. 2017 November, right? The branding case was only given under correction in September 2017. This mandate from SCOPA comes in November, September, October, November. Just a maximum 3 months. So this has to do with FDA. And recently I've seen in news that FDA has been paid out a lot of money from the police for no reason.
Chair, this is a very important point because when my colleagues asked, why are they after you? You see, when they say, why are they after you? You couldn't say they're after me because they will benefit in this way. Are you now saying with that testimony, the way I hear it, that they want to pin FDA's stuff on you? So if you arrested or the 70 others is arrested, then FDA is off the hook. Is that what you are submitting?
Honorable member, that is basically it, if you look at it
Why
like that.
didn't you say that earlier?
Because being detained so many times, that cannot be an
Thank you,
excuse. Okay,
thank you so
thank you,
much.
Honorable Member.
Thank you, Honorable Souls. Thank
That's
you.
just an allegation, Chair.
Mr. Chetty, Advocate Arensa.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, Honorable Member. Just a few questions. Now, if you look at your annexes and you have given us selected portions of the charge sheets, but what is apparent from them is that you are either accused number 1 or accused number 2 in these various matters. Is that right?
Yes, Counsel.
So that seems to indicate that you certainly, according to the allegations, played quite a leading role in various charges which we see from the charge sheet involving theft, forgery, uttering, those and corruption, which are the charges that you face. Is that right?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Now, I'm going on the questions. The first question or inquiry was from Honorable Skosana, and the other one now more recently from Honorable Souls. Now, these charges, again, just looking at the extracts that you've provided to us, involve fraudulent BEE certificates. You're aware of that? These are the charges.
Yes, it has been disclosed in the
Are you not involved in any of those forgeries or utterings concerning the use of false names in order to secure government tenders, in particularly SAPS tenders, on the basis of these, what is alleged to be fraudulent BEE certificates?
Counsel, there is one of the charges in the indictment of 335 by Sunil Beluchan. It's there. I cannot say it's not there because I saw the duplication of it in my other cases where the same charges are duplicated now.
Now, the reason I ask
Yes.
that is that it seems to me that in response to a question posed to you by Honorable Skosana, is that you quite deliberately understate the role that you are alleged to be playing in these charges by saying in response to the Honorable Member's questions that you had dealings with the state, right? But they seem to be quite relatively small fry, relatively small time. You occasionally will respond to a request for a quotation to supply, I think mainly, catering food in that or whatever you were supplying? Yes, that's what you said.
Yes, Council.
So when you answer in that way, you create the impression that you're small fry and that you're quite a small-time business person, isn't it? Is that the impression one gets?
That's the truth, Honorable. No, Chairperson.
Did you have or do you have a company called Counterpoint?
It is owned by my dad, Council.
Owned by your dad, or are you a director or a shareholder of that company?
I was a director until 2010, 2011. And after that, my dad took ownership.
And is Counterpoint, what is Counterpoint's relationship with FDA?
Under my knowledge, nothing, nothing, Chair. Nothing, Council.
What are your, have you got any professional qualifications? Are you an accountant, an
No,
auditor, a financial person? What are your
Nothing.
qualifications?
I have no qualifications, Council.
Is it the case that you controlled some 30 companies
Council, there is one
who
of
were
the,
trading, or which were trading with the state in securing tenders?
again, Council, I never received a tender, right? On my name.
Yeah, I'm
Never,
talking
right?
about these entities. Some of these entities are mentioned in the charge sheet, the 335, the big case, where some 30, there's 40 odd in persons, natural persons, and again 30 odd entities.
Council, that is what we are dealing in court. That is the merits of the case. That is one of, couple of the charges that is in the docket that we are challenging now in the High Court.
Well, I'm not even getting to the merits of the case. I'm asking you the names that appear from a charge sheet that you've annexed to your affidavit. And I'm asking, are you connected with any of those companies that are mentioned on the charge sheet? You're not going into the merits of the case.
Council, yes, my ex-wife had a company. My cousin had a company, but now we're talking about not tenders, you're talking about 50,000, 100,000 orders every maybe 6 months, 7 months. So yes, I know the other people in these cases. Yes. Family.
It's always family, either your father or your cousin or your, what did you say, your sister-in-law?
No, my ex-wife.
Oh, sorry, your ex-wife. Okay. Were two of these companies called Vatika and Goto, KGOTO?
Council, Goto Trading is owned by a person by the name of Kumarasan Pritvaraj. He's the owner of the company. I was never director of any association with business dealings with this company. Vatika Trading is owned by Loreggio Bay. She's the owner of the company, and she is one of the companies that had the branding contract.
So these companies that I've mentioned, or some of them, nowhere near the 30 odd that's in the charge sheet, you at least know the persons involved in those companies who either own those companies or are directors in those companies. You at least know them. We obviously can't verify this evening that you are in fact a director or were director in any of these companies.
Council, I got to know, okay, obviously my family members I knew for a long time, but the other people, I got to know them in 2020, we're 2026 now. So over the time I got to know the people. Yes.
And FDA, what do you know about FDA? Honorable Souls mentioned an exorbitant amount of 6.1 billion. We also know in relation to other witnesses that have appeared here that the name of FDA crops up repeatedly.
Council, the first time I saw anything with FDA is when I saw this letter in our docket that we received when the case was struck off the roll. Nah? So I then took my initiative of watching it and then started doing my research on who FDA is. And then I realized this is the company that's been getting a lot of contracts from the SAPS, Forensic Service. I noted that. And they've been getting paid a lot of money. So again, as honorable member explained to me to the end of my time with him that yes, they used this FDA mandate to make it look as if they are dealing with FDA, but it was not. FDA was never ever dealt with on the SCOPA mandate. Nothing was ever done. Business goes on as usual. And I am aware they're getting paid a lot of money on recent news articles that I've seen. I don't know anything about them.
Yeah, you're talking about the SCOPA of 2017. We also know we led evidence that presentations were made, I think by IPID in front of SCOPA. But subsequently, we also know that there were forensic audits that were done. And it's on the basis of these forensic audits that, amongst others, FDA were implicated and are currently also facing charges. Are you sure that you're not implicated in any of these audits? Your checkpoint company. Counterpoint. I'm thinking of something else.
Council, I am not the owner of Counterpoint, it's my dad. Right? My dad, I can't answer for Counterpoint here, but I know it does not, or it did not have anything to do with FDA, because on this mandate which I watched, it had FDA and related companies which are named there. So it has nothing to do with my dad, from my understanding that I watched the whole briefing of the SCOPA regarding this mandate.
So all of these things that we are discussing and which we can't get to the bottom to, you're all watching it from a distance, from where you're standing, but you are either accused number one or number two in any of in these cases.
Yes, Council.
Okay. Now, just lastly, I keep on asking you for that name because
James Romangulam.
Yes. The same person that Honorable Souls referred to. Are you telling us that you had no interest in his plea bargain agreement with the prosecutors, and that he now presumably, as a result of that plea bargain, is now going to be a state witness in these cases that's pending, and that you had no interest in what they had to say, and that the police, or sorry, the prosecutors didn't follow up? I think, what did he allege? That he paid you 150,000. No, I'm just help me if I got it wrong.
Speaking to that, the first time I'm
Okay,
hearing it, yeah.
it may be the first time, but he alleges that he paid you an amount of money, 100,000, 150,000.
Something to that effect.
And you want us to believe that the prosecutors or the investigators didn't come to you and say, so-and-so is making a plea bargain with us, and he alleges, amongst other things, that he paid you 100,000, 150,000. Is that true or false?
Council, never. I never consulted with Perumal, Beluchan, Shabalala. The last time I met Beluchan and Perumal was at the airport, which is a case of extortion at IPID in 2021 February, whereby they tried the same trick with me, which is at IPID. I want IPID to come here. It's the same thing. That's why I didn't have the interest of reading it. Because what they tried with me and I refused, that's why I had all these multiple arrests. So, no, I had,
Well, I'm going to end off by making a suggestion to you. In fact, I want to encourage you to read his affidavit, which you say you've, for reasons of your own, you've ignored, you didn't want to read it. I don't know whether because it's going to bother you, because you implicated by him, and in preparation for your cases on the merits, I would suggest that you give it a thorough read and ask your counsel to read it. Thank you, Mr. Chetty, and thank you for coming
Thank you.
here and
Thank you.
sharing your concerns, which I think concerns all of us if that's the conduct of investigators and people pursuing you. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much.
Counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Chetty. Thank you, Advocate Arense. Thank you, honorable members, for staying the course, for being here until we conclude our proceedings, and yourself for being with us until we reach this point when we must release you from your oath. You are setting very good example to the other witnesses that are going to appear before us, that once you are sworn in, you stay until we release you from your oath. We hope that you have shared with us what has been paining your chest. And so we want to thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Chair.
Honorable members, Mr. Ramano confirms with me that we should expect the 4 witnesses tomorrow. We will be starting at 10 o'clock. It's here at Good Hope, here at Good Hope Chambers. Honorable Ngola, Honorable Skosana, Honorable Matthews, and Honorable Souls. We start like this now. Honorable Nombalo has been appointed the Secretary General of the Mkhwanazi Party. So, as a practice, what is your congratulatory message? Say it here so that he hears you. He does not hear from gossip. On behalf of your party, may you congratulate him.
Thank you very much, Chair. We certainly convey our congratulatory remarks to, for this purpose, I'll call him Comrade Nomvalo. We have no particular doubt in his capabilities in executing the new responsibilities. Some of us have met him in the trenches in the Youth League. We certainly congratulate him, but not only congratulate him, but also to wish him well as he executes the roles of his party. Thank you so much.
Honorable Skosana, to your friend and fellow colleague.
Chair, I'm speechless. I don't know where to start because
Can you speak like Mark Antony to Caesar?
that's the worst one, eh? Yeah, but I must say that, Chair, it's been a long journey, I must say. I mean, we started here in August, in this committee, a joint committee. And, he's been a twin to me. We had these mishaps, Once upon a time, I was not almost here. And he stood very firm as well, to make sure that we finish this journey together. And I must say congratulations to him, because our members, some, are so excited that they call whilst we are sitting here. And I started this, when we were sitting in the dome. It was so hot, and he went outside, and I was worried that he won't come back like Paul O'Sullivan. But indeed, he came back. I took some pictures then, and I'm very excited. In fact, as I said, I'm speechless. Ngifuna ukuthokoza nje isitshaba sekhethu, ngifuna ukubatshela nje ukuthi indoda le indoda. Kuza kubonakala amajuguluko akhona ahabileko msinyana futhi akuyokuhamba isikhathi ne khona enye ehabileko njengoba ngikhuluma nawe nje usekathomile uyabereka njengoba ngihleli la mara ke sizokuceda naye into le ngizokubawa mhlambe upresident ukuthi akhamlisa lise kancane sicede ngoba uLosithathu is around the corner, and I think the friendship he has created here, the way he conducts himself, as a lawyer for that matter. And indeed, the Umkhonto Wesizwe Party, the national officials has gained, but we lost some of us. But Nomvalo, Sibonelo, Kwala, ngiyakuthokozisa ngithi sithi ngesikhethu uyibambe njalo ngiyakuthokoza mgcina isihlalo.
Honorable Matthys, you are the Deputy Secretary General.
Yeah, can we say nice things about
In your
that?
organization.
Elected. Long live the appointment of the MKSG on this round. And we trust that you're going to do well. But we'll meet you in the streets there in KZN. Was that 2026 LGE? Thank you and well done. And you're well deserving of it. Thank you.
Honorable Solis.
Can the fighter just move out of my view? I would like to see the SG. Honorable Nomvalo, the Bible says, God, your gift will make room for you and place you before great men. And I want to congratulate you because you are where you are because of your gift and the sacrifice that you've made. You started a law firm, gave it up at your home, and you took upon the vision in the MK party. Then you didn't know today, but your gift made room for you. You are an astute jurist. You are a great mind. We don't have conflict, you and I. I don't see it as conflict. I see it as friction because you are iron, I am iron, and iron sharpens iron. So every time I rub up against you and you rub up against me and we've got friction, we walk away sharpened. South Africa is blessed to have you as a young leader. We pray God's blessing over your future. As your fellow colleague and MP, I am genuinely happy for you. Congratulations and all the best and all success over your life. Honorable Nomvalo, SG. Halala.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
No. He had a response, Chair. No, I
Yeah.
want to hear the response for the
No.
record.
No, he will respond.
No, not the actual response. He said something.
The new SG needs
No, wait.
bigger water, Shem.
No,
Let him say what he just said, Chair.
wait. Honorable Nomvalo,
Chair, he said something.
we have worked together in this committee and instilled a sense of loyalty that has graduated to a family level. Sitting here as the chairperson, I no longer regarded any one of you as a committee member, but as part of my family. And this is a very important step on your part. I have been a secretary before. I served 2 non-consecutive terms as a secretary of the African National Congress, and I had also served as a secretary of the South African Communist Party. The position of the secretary requires you to be the personification of your organization and a custodian of its values and principles. I want to refer you to a statement that we once made here that Walter Sisulu, when he was interviewed and asked what made him one of the best secretaries general of the ANC, he responded by saying that the day he was elected, he took Walter home to us. We want to wish you well in your new responsibility and hope that you will continue to be calm, composed, and calculated in the decisions that you take, and committed to the role that the organization has given you. The work of the secretary is not an easy work. Those who know it, most of them, they call it a thankless job, because you work as the secretary and build the organization when most of your comrades are deployed in government. And when conference comes, they unelect you from the position. So we want to wish you all the best. Have strength, courage, have that resilience, and make your party grow. Thank you so much. We will give you this opportunity to give your replies.
No, thank you very much. That was very profound. And once again, thank you for instilling the culture of political maturity. It's a culture that we must infuse in the DNA of our politics. We might be coming from different organizations, but we commonly come from the same African value system. And we must always embrace that at all times. So politics must not get into our heads. Politics must never spoil our humility. Politics must teach us that the only thing that we differ on is our perspectives, and it ends there. Beyond that, we are human beings. We share the very same values and systems. So I appreciate that, Chairperson. And I always regard leadership as not a right, but a privilege. So this is an invitation to a very huge task. It's not a right, but a privilege. It's a calling to which I must respond together with the collective that I will be executing the organizational task with. So in those few words, I appreciate these profound words. They are going to make a serious impact on how we approach the responsibility that we have been given. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can we give it a round of applause?
Yeah.
Now he must say what he said earlier. I want to hear it for the record.
When we get out here, you get Honorable Skosana
No,
closer to you.
Don't
He
be
will
like
tell
that.
you.
He said it already. You didn't hear
What
it.
did he say?
That's what I'm trying to get to at.
Honorable Nombalo, Honorable Sol says there is something you said after,
For the record.
so he wants to hear what you said.
Say Nomvalo what you said when I was done. Put on the mic and say. Nombalo.
So,
Say what you say.
so honorable members,
Say it on the mic. Say it on the mic. Say it on the mic.
Chair, what must I say? Amen.
did you say amen?
Oh, it was
He
honorable.
wants you to say,
It was Honorable Skosana.
and then when you say amen where I'm sitting, I say hallelujah. Praise the Lord. The omnipresent God. Honorable souls, the omnipresent God, the Lord that never fails us. You see, these are his manifestations. Well, no, I can't quote. Yes, Honorable Skosa, you hear what Novalo is saying. I mean, what Honorable Solis is saying. He says, no, continue.
To continue till tomorrow morning,
will-
I can tell you.
No, we will continue tomorrow, Honorable Solis. In fact, tomorrow, we must start with a prayer. Honorable members, we have come to the end of today's proceedings. You will forever remain a memory to Honorable Nomvalo. Every time he thinks about his responsibility, he says, by the way, it happened on the day Mr. Chetty appeared before us. Thank you so much for being part of that memory. You want to say something?
Honorable Chair, honorable members, I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here.
Yeah.
We've been going through a lot of abuse, and I appreciate the opportunity to ventilate
Okay.
a lot of my issues. Just thank you again, Chairperson and committee. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Advocate Arens, do you want to say anything to Honorable Nomvalo?
Congratulations.
As a village elder. Chair.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Honorable Nomvalo, and thank you for helping us lead the evidence on the committee for the past few months. But on a serious note, as he said, for all our political parties, it's a huge responsibility, especially in these challenging times that we face, to show courageous and moral leadership as we hear how things have happened within the leadership of SAPS, and so many people are involved in fraud and corruption. If he can assist, which getting to know him in the short while that we've been on this committee, then I'm sure he can play a huge role, and I wish him all the best, and look forward to further engagement with him in whatever capacity. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you so much. Honorable members, we have come to the end of today's proceedings. May we please rise and leave the chambers.